All right. I'm Lonnie Horne, proud owner of World Class Faders Barbershop.
And I am Timmel, Pittman, owner of Uppercuts Barbershop. And we, along with our guy and the rest of the barbers that support our movement, are the United Barbers Club.
Yes. And we're out here at the Las Vegas Trade Show, man. And it's so cool to connect. And just so you know, we didn't give you this heads up. It's cameras everywhere, man. So you gonna see
I figure,
us
okay,
all over,
bet, got you.
So, yeah,
But this is good. This is good. So, we want to do this, so it's good to see.
We're here at the Las Vegas Trade Show, man. And, one of the coolest things about coming to events like this is seeing familiar faces, seeing faces you might have seen on social media, but you ain't had a chance to quite meet them.
Mm-hmm.
I was very privileged to hop on a live with you and get a little idea of what you're doing. But to see you in person, man, it's good to finally do that. And events like this is what excites me about coming, man. So with no further delay, man, our guest today is the one and only Ray, representing the Anti-Broke Barbers Club, man. Welcome,
doing, man.
Good.
How you doing?
Sir.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, bless you for even entertaining us. We know the brand is popping, bro. It's all over everywhere, and I see that it's been growing. Talk a little bit about how you started the brand and where you at with the brand and where you plan on going with the brand.
Just first starting the brand is already, we were already doing education, just kind of classes or things like that. And then just made a shirt, you know what I'm saying, just to sell. First we actually made the shirt. It said Anti-Social Barbers Club. And woke up in the morning, oh, you stole this and that, you this and that. And I'm like, what the hell? So there's another barber that already had made an Anti-Social Barbers Club shirt.
Gotcha.
So when I got that, was like, people liked it, but then it was just like, okay, I don't know what the initial was, but then I tweaked it and made it say Anti-Broke Barbers Club. And so that just got popular. The shirts was kind of cool and this and that. And we were doing classes with my last partner, and we just named the classes that, and then it gave it that extra buzz.
Yeah.
And then we've been going, I looked up all last year, been going to expos ever since the top of last year.
Dope.
So that created as well. And then we do a lot of our online social media marketing stuff that I do to help bring the awareness as well.
So when you say we, who's we? Who's that team you talking about?
As far as my last partner, it was JC the Barber. And then right now we're just still actually building our internal team as far as people that's just reaching out to stuff, just dealing with these expos. Because a lot of the stuff I deal with right now by myself. Building websites, going to these expos, designing the clothes, all those type of things. Like I still
You got your hands on all that, man?
I'm up all night long building websites, editing.
What's your background?
I used to work in Hollywood for about 12, 13 years, doing promotion clubs and things like that. So that's where this field comes from. You know what I'm saying? I already started in the entertainment, doing parties and clubs and things like that, paying $30,000 for Diddy and all these stuff to host parties and things like that, and then make that money back and stuff like that. So concerts, and then I started there, and then I opened my first barbershop in 2012.
Okay.
Are you a barber?
No.
You're not a barber?
No.
Never been?
No.
What made you open up a barbershop?
It's crazy because I have this letter from my aunt that I wrote my aunt. It's on my page, and I wrote it to her in 2000, I believe, in 5. So I think I'm 1920. And I wanted to, and it said in my letter, hey, my auntie, I need some extra cash or whatever. I'm going to plan on playing basketball at this community college, and it said I wanted to open a barbershop, a clothing store, or whatever it was. And I had seen this letter maybe 6-7 years ago. 10 years later after, writing all of it. And I don't know, I grew up in a barbershop. Me and my friends used to catch the bus after school to the barbershop. Friends were working there, and we would just clown with the barbers all day.
Oh.
So it's like I already know that, and I'm an entrepreneur and business at heart. So you just grow up in that, and you know that just being a business person, these are things that I can obtain. I've seen this. I'm in this environment. I know about that. I had my first job when I was 12 years old.
Girl, you
I had a business license and everything.
Oh, damn.
I had a business license and all.
So your interest in the barbershop, it was from the cultural standpoint. Like, I mean, you said you and your boys went there after school, you hung out, you BS with the barbers. So you felt the barber culture early on.
Yeah, from, I moved around when I was younger a lot, you know what I'm saying? So when you just go to certain places, you meet, there's only certain places you can go outside of school when you're younger that you see, I have no father in the home, so you see these other guys or whoever, in the shops acting this and that, so you kind of gravitate to that, or you find that maybe that father figure or that big brother, role that, kind of finding that in the shops. So maybe that was a part of it, but I just always wanted to, my whole thing is, my barbershop's called Brotherhood. I have it tatted on me. Everything about me is Brotherhood. You could probably find about 40 people out here with tatted with Brotherhood in LA and stuff like that and around. It just, it was similar to how Anti-Broke Barbers Club is right now. It's very similar. Before that, this was just kind of more on like a global, bigger dynamic right now than just that one Brotherhood thing. Anti-Broke Barbers Club resonates to so many people.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It kind of has its own definition for everybody, and that's what we've been learning.
How'd you feel when that first started taking off, man? What was your first sign that, oh man, they like this, like Anti-Broke Barbers Club? We started seeing it. First of all, before you answer that, we were going to barber battles in hella different cities, and every time we turned around, it was usually like a group of young cats that would just walk in, and they looked like they came clicked up, and we was like, damn, who is these cats? And we read their stuff, and it was like Anti-Broke Barbers Club. When did you realize, damn, they like this, it's working?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, we were selling them online and it was going. You know what I'm saying? That's when I built the website, built the things like that. And then I would say maybe I smoke a lot of weed sometimes.
I seen the challenge in his eyes. I was like,
because I got to think back. And, sometimes I've done a lot.
Yeah.
And, I'm 38, you know what I'm saying? But I've done a lot. Like I said, I worked in Hollywood 12, 13 years. I've opened barbershops, closed barbershops, sold barbershops, had clothing stores, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Clothing. So I've done so much. So always going back on these timelines and timetables is a little difficult sometimes. But I think that very first expo showed me a lot. And that was the very first one I went to was in Rumble in the Rockies in Denver. Okay. And then the Barbers came out. It's just the name is Anti-Broke Barbers Club. Like, tell me something that gets you more juiced up than that.
It's super inspirational.
You can't name, no disrespect to nobody's brands or what they have.
Well, because you sound like you're disrespecting my brand right now, and I don't like that. I'm playing.
But this is what you need. Like, okay, you read something, but does it give you a feeling?
Yeah.
Man, that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
we all have our names. You know what I'm saying? My Brotherhood Barbershop, it's cool. You got that. Okay, I feel might be family or whatever you put. But this Anti-Broke Barbers, it gives you a feeling because you need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need this. I don't want, if you don't want to be broke, you should be trying to figure out what the fuck this is. Yeah. Sorry for my language.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Like the
real, the raw, transparency.
Right.
And that's what we talked about. We talked about before, just being on that. I remember being on that live. That's how our classes, just these topics go, because I'm not, like I said, I don't cut hair. So I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about some techniques or what you're doing. Yeah. I'm going to sit here and tell you about what I see the customer looking at. Yeah. I see that lady that's looking at you, and she wants to hurry up and get out of here because the conversation in here is
it's not fit.
It's not right.
Right.
You smell like weed. You smell like tobacco. You don't know what that kid might have asthma. Like, those are the things I open barbers' eyes to. You know what I'm saying? Because one, you got to be a business.
Yes.
What I bring to the Anti-Broke Barbers Club is the business of barbering. You know what I'm saying? Teaching you and educating you on what can help you raise your income 10%, 20%. I'm not trying to, I ain't got no get rich quick scheme for you.
But if you do the basics,
because I've seen it. I've had my first shop was open in 2012. It's gonna be 11 years now having shops.
Go ahead.
Regardless if it was lucrative every single year or not, I know every type of barber that comes in here.
Gotcha.
I know their personalities, what they front, what they want, and lie about what they want, and the ones that do exactly what they want. So sometimes it's just being real with them. And I can't, there's no other way. I'm not gonna have phony conversations with you or talk to you about X, Y, Z. It's literally about what can help you, and it helps me. You know what I'm saying? Helps me help other barbers. Because when I have a conversation with you and you tell me something, and it clicks to me, I can remember it and go on to the next thing, and vice versa. And it don't matter the age. I've learned stuff from 60-year-old barbers, and the stuff that I learned from these 20-year-old barbers.
Yes.
I'm making it a point to go tell the older heads to do X, Y, and Z, because I'm telling you,
Man.
the world don't care. I told. We did a class in New York. Dude was 55. I said, I had a barber that was there. I said, yo, I think it was Mari. I said, Mari, how old are you? I said, 20. How long you been out of school? Like 6 months. What you charging? 80. Old head been cutting hair. He said he been cutting hair for 25 years. He only still charged $25. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know, right?
If you sitting next to two dudes you've been cutting for 30 years and y'all ain't switching up, how do you know what's going on outside and around?
Right.
In the world, it be like, and I got into an argument before with him. It's like, they don't know the game. They don't love it. They don't have the love for the craft. Blah blah blah. They ain't did this long enough. That don't matter. Somebody's coming, looking on Google and Yelp to go spend $80 on a haircut. They don't care about the love for this or these young cats is getting in the game and jumping straight to $55, $60 when people are still, struggling to get out of there from what they were doing the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So
There's a couple of dynamics to that. There's the one dynamic to where you have the older people that would just do it for the love and the passion of it, and still they holding themselves back because they can charge a little bit more, but they just don't want to put that burden on their client. But they're happy. It's not.
So you know what? I started to cut you off. So you gonna put the burden on your wife?
Yeah, but
you gonna put the burden on your? We don't know. Like we.
Some people are comfortable where they are and they're living at a pace that they're cool with. There are some people that may be getting in the industry and they're jumping faster than they need to. People are looking at them, and on Instagram it look like they winning, but realistically they only cutting two heads a day for $100. So it's all a person's perspective. Charging $80 is not saying you still ain't gonna be broke.
Of course. And that's where it's perception.
Yes, it is.
So and that's why I don't. My thing about teach these guys about we speak on the celebrity barber stuff, and my last partner just made it more easier because he was in that realm. But we speak on that, but you don't know that these guys are okay. You just made $250 cutting that celebrity, but you just waited 8 hours. Yeah. You just drove an hour away and came out. You know what I'm saying? It don't add up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's cool you cut K-Camp and whoever it is, but what does that do for you? Yeah. I mean, you get that picture, and if you're using it for that type of stuff, then that's great. But in the long run, that's not, we open your eyes for that. We help you understand. If that's a realm that you want to go into, we help you understand that realm before you get into there. Because like you said, there's going to be them celebrity barbers that's sleeping on their couch or in their cars because they only doing one haircut every 2 days for $350 or $300 or whatever it is, whatever they may be charging, and you're not building a core clientele.
And I don't know what your angle really is with the broke barber. Is it about charging more for barbers? I think you guys would be killing it if you guys were doing financial classes.
That's definitely...
That is the core of anybody being rich. Whatever finances they're making, $20 a haircut or $100 a haircut, however they set up that financial structure is going to be beneficial.
Yeah, and that's funny. That's how we was just speaking that over there, just money management.
Oh, big time.
It's just so much because, I tell them, like, you go out here, you get all these 40 in your pocket, 40. They going to spend money on the eighth. Yep. They went outside and bought. They
sound like us.
That's what we
do at our presentation.
This is what they do every day. I'm just telling you what they do.
We know.
You know what I'm saying? They go buy whatever, whatever. Everybody has their own vice for whatever they do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we all going to spend that little money on that vice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And doing that. Then someone's going to drink after. You going to get food. You going to do X, Y, Z. Then you buying shoes. You going to get a shirt. Yeah. So it's like it's just the money's just so disposable for you. Yes. And I was just telling them, I don't care how you spend that money. Put it in the bank first. Show them transactions. Know where your money's going.
At least know what you made.
Know where you made. Know where it's going.
Yes.
But to say our thing is not on the price.
Okay.
The price works in when we go to these cities and they're charging $25.
You don't
Then
want to
it-
see them killing themselves off.
Then
like
it goes
that.
into price
Gotcha.
and giving them the confidence to know X, Y, and Z. But we want you to know to basics at first. And I was just telling them over there at the booth, the consultant. If
Yes.
somebody sits in your chair, you want to consult that person. You want to talk to them. You want to know when I put a razor in your face, it's going to turn red, because that's what my barbers will do to me. Like after a while, you want to keep going back to your barber because they know what not to do and to do.
Right.
So give that consultant, ask them these questions. Do you get razor bumps? Are you thinning? All this stuff because it's the business of barbering. You're making that person feel comfortable with you. You know what I'm saying? Then you charge whatever you want to charge.
Do y'all have do you have like a minimum where you like anti-broke barbers? We'd never want them charging less than.
No, but I think across the country, I think healthy adults and people across the world should be decent at $40.
That's cool.
Two 20s, a grown adults.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you can go from there. But like I said, it's not the money. It's just how you. I like to give the perception of it, because I have barbers that want to move to LA and work in my shop. So I say, why do you want to move to my shop? It's going to cost you whatever it may be, $6,000 every single month. And when in LA, that's going to come every 20 days. And you make $60,000 where you're at, you want to come to LA. That's not, you know what I'm saying? You can make these same adjustments and these same things in your own city and make that. Now you make 80,000 and you're living way better than if you was in LA.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
dope.
when you break that understanding down for them and you show them examples of where these people, and when I'm telling you, because I know so many barbers that come to LA and they go right back home. And I tell them.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
I've had people move from Miami, from the East Coast, come to my shop 2 weeks back home, 3 days back home.
Oh, be careful. It's going to pick up on you.
And I always tell, them, I'm always trying to, not discourage them, but just giving them. I'm a realist. Some people might take what I'm saying as you might be a bit harsh, but I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
No, you need
because there's
the
going to be
truth.
1,000 other motherfuckers that's going to lie to you and just say yes man stuff to you, and I feel like I gotta have my due justice with you and just give you that real, regardless if you don't like it or not, because one day you might come back up to me and say, bro, what you told me that one day, I didn't understand it. It was a little rough. You might have hurt my feelings, or I didn't get it at the time. But bro, I understand you now, or X, Y, and Z. So
I will say this in closing, man. Listening to you, a lot of your core values match with the United Barbers Club, man. Like seriously, and I'm starting to learn that a lot of our groups, our clubs, or whatever we want to phrase them as, in this industry that are working the way we're working, I'm starting to find that a lot of us are doing similar things, but we don't see those sides of each other's organizations. So people will see us in this capacity. They'll see us when we throw our barber battles, which we got to make sure, man,
me know, bro.
we should have definitely had you in Sacramento 3 weeks ago.
I seen it. I actually seen it up. Just the promo online or whatever. How was it?
It's fire. But the point I'm getting to is people see us. You have some people that say, oh, they're event promoters. We are. Then you have people that say, oh, they're podcasts. Oh, yeah, we are. But then you have a whole nother group that this crowd may not see that, oh, they're presenting at schools. And I'm listening to you, and it sounds like you guys are doing some of what we're doing behind the scenes. So I would love to know how we can see more of what you're talking about, because it's about putting tools and resources together, and you just never know, man. There may be something that you guys are doing that we can tie in or just even repost sometimes that backs up the same damn values and cores we out here fighting for.
And one of our things before everything just went to shambles this last month or so, before that, the whole thing for the year was just, my goals for the year was preparation and education. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, was preparing for the expos and everything that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, we're at Bronner Brothers this year.
Long Beach?
No, Bronner's in New Orleans.
Okay.
They're doing 2 this year.
Yeah. So
going
then
to the Long Beach.
ABS. So we're doing a lot of these bigger ones, bigger scales. So our preparation started in November. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand that, like, this year, the preparation for this year is already pretty much set. You know what I'm saying? I don't live day to day. I don't live week to week. You know what I'm saying? I'm already trying to be months in advance, 2 months in advance, 3 months in advance, and knowing where things is going. But just to say, and then the preparation, sorry, that was the preparation and the education. You know, our thing, we have, I got about over 2,000 ambassadors registered.
Damn.
Right now I'm still funneling them out, going through old ones, maybe going through some that don't want to be a part of the brand no more based on, you know, my ex-partner, you know, whatever it may be. So we're still getting all those things out. But we have so many barbers and our Bay Area is one of our biggest markets. So we want to create those online classes, online sessions. We have mental health and wealth classes.
That's what I was curious about. Okay.
Where we have people get on there. So if we have one where we got to set up once a month and we get on here and teaching X, Y, Z and talking about X, Y, and Z, and it works both hand in hand, that's what we want. Because our brand and our platform is built for other barbers and platforms to connect with us.
Dope.
Our whole thing is I'm not here to be for that brand or that brand. Our ambassadors are here to work with those brands.
I like
One of my ambassadors are here, and now he has a job, and he's hiring other barbers with Bump Pro.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I want my barbers to go work at this brand.
I seen Fresco.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Fresco.
You know what I'm saying? These are guys ambassadors with us, and we're teaching them and putting them in positions to make these moves. And that's what it is. It's just little things like that, like because they want small things like that these big brands won't give them.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you do. You're ambassador with my brand. You can come work at the booth.
I like that.
You can cut at the booth. People are gonna look at you regardless if you feel like you're maybe at a certain level or not. People don't know that. Yeah. And then the guys that are around, they're gonna still give pointers. You might be cutting it, and we got 5 barbers around that are still telling you and on top of you to do this, work on this, X, Y, and Z.
I like that, man.
So, you know, we have like I said, global, because it's really that type of way. Like I go through my email database, I got orders from South Africa, all these certain places. You know, I got like over 8,000 database and emails right now. So if I just went and scrubbed out Bay Area, it'll be 220 all from that area up there. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that we can do that we're working on as far as advertisement on our websites, you know, to get a certain amount of traffic a day. I think we're getting like 400 hits right now, and that's a day, and that's not even really, you know, where we want it to be at and where it can be at. You know what I'm saying?
That's still beautiful.
Yeah. So, you know, so that's a lot of stuff that we're working on, we got going on. But it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. And even though we want to move so fast, we only can move so fast. You gotta do things gradually, and you gotta test, you gotta analyze. One thing you mentioned is since everything went in shambles, you mentioned your ex-partner. I just want to point out that when I see you set up over here, I'm like, that's dope to hear you say words like shambles, which I don't see shambles. I see you out here hustling, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But it shows a lot about the character. We're getting to know you, you know what I mean? I'm wanting to know more about Ray, you know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to hear, like we wasn't touching on that. You mentioned shambles, you mentioned your ex-partner, and then for me, I'm looking over at your booth right now. I salute you because something made you say, nah, no matter what's going on, we have to
because it's them. It's the people over there. It's bigger. It was bigger than him, and it was bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? From day one. So, and when I said shambles, because, you know, nobody knows what we go. They only see the perception. They only see what he says or that person says or whatever. They don't know what I'm going through at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I live and breathe this brand. You know what I'm saying? And then I have another barber shops that I have a brand to that I neglect a lot of times because of this brand. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and these are things we want to have conversation and classes with. I want to have classes with shop owners, the bosses. You know what I'm saying? To talk about situations that goes on that we have to overcome or deal with, and or the shop owner versus the barber. Because they both need to understand the dynamics of both. You think that I was charging you $200 booth rent in 2010. Why do you feel like it has to be barely a scrub? You know, it should be $250 now. We're 13 years later. You know what I'm saying? And you were charging $20 then, and now you're charging. So where's the median? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we need to have this dialogue, these conversations. There's so many different conversations we need to have. But when you say when I bring up the shambles, just because they don't know what, you know, I feel like I lost like damn near almost 10 pounds this last month.
Damn.
Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting phone calls every day. I didn't even really get to, like, barely ate that week that it was actually going on, just because I don't have the energy for it. My mind is just the calls. I got to call out to brands. I got to make sure that they understand this or understand that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on, and it just showed a little bit more how that person's not too tapped into what goes on behind the scenes. Because if you know what I'm saying, you want to do that based on the things that goes on behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, just even personal and business. So I use that word, but I mean, it's part of business. You know what I'm saying? That's what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff to talk about with barbers as far as owning stuff. I've talked about barbers and going to partnerships with other barbers in his shop. It seems cool. It sounds cool, but you're not buddy-buddy. You're not going to be buddy-buddy and friends like that all the time. So, you know, you just got to hope that the business or whatever is stronger than that in some instances. So
Before we close out, I do want to talk about where is the brand headed. I did see that you had an anti-broke barber club Chicago, and I like that you did. I looked like you were going to start branding certain cities, and I was like, that's dope.
And like I said, Chicago's our second biggest market out of LA, maybe just because that's where we're from. But Chicago's one of our biggest markets. The education is where we're still where we're headed, you know what I'm saying, and obviously locking in more on that. Last year we was kind of geared more on touring, so you go through the little hiccups and figuring out what works and doesn't work with that. So you know, that's what we're working on as well. How do we get to all of our guys in Chicago? How do we get to, you know what I'm saying? So if I got 2,000 ambassadors registered, there's 30 in North Carolina, there's 50 here, there's 300 in Chicago, there's there. So it's how do we go there or do the online stuff and get them educated in things that they need or the help that they need. So that's something that we're still learning, and we're still building on and trying to figure out how to do that in these certain cities. So my guy that was just here in Vegas, he was just telling me the same thing. We need to build those things here, and which is going to be in every city, to where we can have new barbers coming in that want to sit behind somebody or look at somebody actually cut than how it is at school. Just get more knowledge and things like that. So that's what we're trying to, working on creating. I don't want to say trying, but it's in the works. It's something we're working towards. So,
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you for giving us your time. We appreciate it, sharing your journey, where you guys are going, where you came from. I know that some of this stuff is going to be very inspiring for other people that's trying to do similar things. I'm still inspired about being a shop owner of a barber shop, but don't work there. I find that, like you said, it's not about making a lot of money, but you like the culture of it.
So maybe I wanted to touch back because I want to say, because you guys said and tell my story, and it was like, that's not really a thing that I like to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm the person that's sitting in the back. I like to get the work done. You know what I'm saying? But I got 3 little brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm 38, 36, 35, 34. And all 3 of them went to jail same day.
Oh, man.
All went to jail same day. A year and a half, 9 years and 11 years. All same day.
Damn.
So just even when I went back with that letter and it all worked in the same way, I opened my shops because I wanted my brothers to have something to fall back on when if they got out of jail. You know how it is for, you know what I'm saying, urban community, going to jail, stuff like that. So long story short, 2 of my brothers are barbers.
Hey.
Cut it for 10 years and like 6-7 years already.
Hey.
Like, so when people say, like, talk about this, or you don't cut hair, I just don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to get work done. You know what I'm saying? You see me, I'm setting up or whatever. I don't care about the glitz, the glamour. This is the first time you see me with a haircut. I don't be caring. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here to get the work done. I'm not here to always talk about myself and things like that, which they're telling me now I need to speak more on that.
Man, it's funny how one door closes and another opens. Listen to those voices and those signs, man. Because look, we didn't even know about you, right? Like right now, listening to you, I'm like hustler, integrity. You know what I'm saying? Resilient. You get me? So like, people want to know what's driving the brand.
Yeah.
If that's you, then them knowing those things are just going to build their confidence and who's leading this even more. I want to get to know you more, man. We want to get to know you more. We even have our live cast that I think it would be really dope to book with you to talk more personally, and it's a good opportunity for you to even start practicing doing that.
That's been my thing. I was supposed to go the college I just went to.
Oh,
yeah, I was supposed to go there in the morning, in the mornings and speak there just because I spoke to him just to get me more comfortable, because I don't go there create a story about myself or anything like that, because I just go there and get the work done. But I do know, and that's why the people that come to the brand and rock with us behind the scenes, they rock with me so much, because the information, the value that I provide them based on the things I've done before, wins and losses.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I've done it all off my dollar. I didn't go borrow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting my hard-earned money, from my marriage, you know what I'm saying? There's stuff going on home. My wife wants to know why I don't have this and that.
Domino effect.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm in this building stage. I mean, you might not see it. I even have barbers that'll call me older than me, bro. My wife doesn't understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand this. And I got to tell them, bro, you know, and I've been married 10 years now this month. Actually, end of the month, it'll be 10 years. Thank you. So I just get my perspective on that and things on how it works. So that's why I love the dynamic of it so much, because even when I speak at Anti-Broke Barbers Club and you go to the shop every day, it doesn't have shit to do with you cutting hair. I know I have barbers that I've seen or witnessed cheating on their spouses and getting into any type of situations or like getting somebody pregnant or something like that maybe, or whatever it could be. And that throws you off at the shop for months.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, you good? You all right? They said, tell me a story, whatever it is. So it's a lot more than cutting hair when it comes to barbering.
Yes.
The business of barbering, the mental health of dealing, just life in general, because once life goes, it mixes in with your career as well. So that's where we help a lot and help get that understanding for what's going on as well in our brand. So like I said, it's building. It's a lot. Sometimes overwhelming. Talking about it is overwhelming because there's so many avenues to win to help all these barbers. So there's so many different levels of barbers. And so that's what we're on this year, just building from there, finding out who's a part of our team and where can we help them with. So I would love to definitely, for sure, come on the cast, talk to you guys. This is what I do. Like I do this all the time. So obviously I need to get behind the mic and do it.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like for real, I can't wait because it's gonna be beneficial for all of us. It's gonna give you a chance to practice what we just talked about, and then us to get to know you more. Anti-social.
You're making me start my podcast now.
It'll be a great time for you too.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. I think you just announced it.
and I think we're gonna call it anti-broke. And just leave it at that. You'll still have the barber aspect, but to me, because it's the anti-broke, it's everything.
Yeah.
Anti-broke, because when we tell you anti-broke, it's not just on the money part. It's anti-broke mentally, spiritually.
That's what I started picking up the more I listened to you when y'all kind of like debated about the money thing. That's what I picked up, man. We gotta wrap up, man. But I'm gonna tell you, there's no way. We got a lot more. We got a lot more to tap into. I'm glad you're open to it. Seriously, man.
Sure, man.
I hope this was beneficial for you too.
Definitely.
Man,
Yeah, I like it now. That's what I'm just like, I can sit here because it's already what I do. I'm just talking to people outside of the things, giving these people advice, talking about these things for free with people all the time.
Yes.
So
tell people where to find more about Anti-Broke, man. Let them know.
You guys can find us on antibrokebarbersclub.com, or you can download the app Anti-Broke Barbers Club on Android or iOS. We do a lot of free giveaways, clippers, trimmers, things like that, tips, best ways to do this, or when you move into certain cities, like we send all that stuff we put on the apps and our blogs. So you can find us on there.
And they can buy their merch there too, right?
Yep, you can get all the merch there. You know, we got a lot of stuff coming up now that's just beyond clothes. We got the facial sprayers, we got barber mats. About time, you know, we're gonna start getting into all that type of stuff, clippers and everything like that. So we're here to compete with we're here to compete with the big brands.
I like that, man. They put a smile on your face too.
I love it.
That's a lot about you, right? Hey, man, it's been a pleasure, right? Let's keep this going for real, man.
For sure.
Everybody, make sure to check out antibrokebarbersclub.com.
Yep.
You can get your merch and everything there, man. You got our support, man. We're excited to see what's next, man. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
For sure.
Yep.